Every year, thousands of ships carrying goods worth trillions of dollars pass through a narrow strip of land in Central America. Without it, global trade would be slower, more expensive, and far less efficient. This narrow waterway is just 82 kilometers long, yet it connects two oceans, shortens journeys by thousands of kilometers, and influences the economies of nations across the world. It is one of the greatest engineering achievements in human history, the Panama Canal. But why is the canal so important? Why have powerful nations fought over it? And why did one of the world's smallest countries come to control one of the most valuable trade routes on earth? The Panama Canal links the Atlantic Ocean with the Pacific Ocean. Before its construction, ships traveling between New York and San Francisco had to sail around South America through the dangerous water of Cape Horn. The journey was long, expensive, and risky. The canal changed everything. Today, around 6% of global maritime trade passes through the Panama Canal, making it one of the most important choke points in the world. But building it was anything but easy. For centuries, explorers dreamed of connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. As early as the 16th century, the Spanish Empire recognized the strategic importance of Panama. But the technology simply did not exist. Ships had no choice but to take the wrong route around South America. As global trade expanded, the need for a shortcut became increasingly obvious, and eventually one country attempted the impossible: France. In the 1880s, French engineer Ferdinand de Lesseps, who had successfully built the Suez Canal, launched a project to construct a canal through Panama. But unlike the flat desert of Egypt, Panama presented enormous challenges: dense jungles, mountains, heavy rainfalls, and deadly diseases. Malaria and yellow fever killed thousands of workers. The project collapsed, and France suffered one of the greatest engineering failures in history. The United States understood the canal's importance. President Theodore Roosevelt believed the canal was essential for America's future. But there was one problem: Panama was still part of Colombia. When negotiations failed, the United States supported Panama's independence movement. In 1903, Panama became independent, and shortly afterward, America secured the rights to build and control the canal. Construction resumed. Building the Panama Canal required extraordinary efforts. Thousands of workers from around the world participated. Engineers had to remove mountains, construct giant locks, control rivers, and fight tropical diseases. Medical breakthroughs dramatically reduced death from malaria and yellow fever. Finally, in 1914, the canal officially opened. The world has changed forever. The canal transformed shipping. For example, a ship traveling from New York to San Francisco could save nearly 13,000 kilometers. This reduced cost, fuel consumption, and travel time. Suddenly, trade between Asia, Europe, and the Americas became much more efficient, and nations around the world benefited. For much of the 20th century, the Panama Canal symbolized American power. The United States controlled the canal zone. Its navy used the canal to move warships quickly between oceans. This flexibility became especially more important during World War I, World War II, and the Cold War. The canal strengthened America's position as a global superpower. Over time, many Panamanians demanded control over their own territory. In 1977, President Jimmy Carter signed agreements transferring ownership of the canal to Panama. The transition was completed in 1999. Many critics feared Panama would struggle to manage such a complex system, but the opposite happened. Panama successfully modernized the canal and expanded its capacity. Today, it remained one of the country's greatest source of income. As China became the world's manufacturing powerhouse, its dependence on maritime trade increased. Chinese companies invested heavily in ports and infrastructure around the world, including regions near the Panama Canal. This has attracted the attention of the United States. Washington worries that China's growing influence could threaten one of the world's most strategic waterways. As competition between America and China intensifies, the canal has become increasingly important once again. Ironically, the Panama Canal depends on fresh water. Its locks required enormous quantities of water, but climate change and droughts have created serious challenges. Low water levels have forced restrictions on shipping traffic. This has caused delayed and increased cost. For a world dependent on efficient trade, these disruptions highlight just how important the canal really is. Could another canal replace Panama? Some have proposed a canal through Nicaragua, Arctic shipping routes, expanded rail networks, but none currently match the Panama Canal's efficiency and importance. For now, it remains one of the world's most critical trade arteries. So why is the Panama Canal so important? Because it connects two oceans, because it transformed global trade, and because geography has once again shaped history. From engineering marvel to geopolitical battleground, the Panama Canal has become one of the most valuable waterways on Earth. And as competition between great powers intensifies, its